Oh, we're going to talk about the biggest boss today, baby. That's right, man. Did y'all hear the news? Kelvin Joseph dodged the bullet with the local authorities in Dallas. But I got one question for everybody rooting for Kelvin Joseph to return to the Dallas Cowboys. Will Kelvin Joseph dodge the NFL's PCP bullet? That's what I want to talk about today. So for everybody thinking that Boss Man Fat about to be off the hook, he got to dodge that NFL PCP bullet first. So we're going to talk about the NFL PCP and will Kelvin Joseph see the light of day on this roster, this 53-man roster this year. So y'all know the drill, baby. Let these notifications go out. Let this room fill up. We're going to pull it up. We're going to roll it up. And we're going to talk about Boss Man Fat, baby, as I got the biggest boss of them all in the bag, y'all. What do you say? I'm the biggest boss that you've seen thus far. I'm the biggest blogger that you've seen thus far. I'm the biggest blogger that you've seen thus far. What? You're listening to the boss, baby. So y'all gather around to tune in. Training camp is kicking off, baby. It's an exciting week this week, isn't it? But there's a lot of talk yesterday after Sports Illustrated broke that Kelvin Joseph dodged the bullet with local authorities and he will not get hemmed up per the local authorities, right? Well, there's this three-letter acronym in the NFL called PCP, and we ain't talking about drugs. You know, PCP, baby. We're talking about the NFL personal conduct policy, baby. And that's the biggest boss that we've seen thus far. So I don't care what local authorities got to say, right? Do y'all remember what happened to Ezekiel Elliott? Do we just need to go down there right quick? Do y'all remember what happened to Ezekiel Elliott? Ezekiel Elliott was charged, or wasn't even charged. Ezekiel Elliott had something take place when he was essentially still in college. We don't need to go down memory lane on that one, though, do we? But I'm on that jet fuel this morning, baby. So that artisan jet fuel, if you got it, roll it up. If you got it, pull it up, baby. It's the biggest boss that you've seen thus far. We talking about Boss Man Fat, baby, number 24. News broke yesterday, right? Boss Man Fat is not going to get into the clink. You know, it's pretty unfortunate what took place. And I don't care if the kid actually makes the roster or not. I just want to talk about, do y'all remember this episode that we had with Ezekiel Elliott, y'all? With this PCP. A lot of folks are forgetting about this conduct policy that the NFL has, right? This personal conduct policy that was put out in 2018. So for all my supporters here today, I'm going to put that link in the supporter group. So that way you can go over there and check it out word for word. But I wanted to cover a couple of things on this PCP. A lot of folks don't seem to understand. They think because Kelvin Joseph has dodged the local authorities that Kelvin Joseph essentially is going to be able to play with the Dallas Cowboys. Well, it's the top of the morning, baby. You know what it is. Best part of waking up, man. Y'all let these notifications go out. Let this room fill up. Let's talk about it. If you got it, pull it up. If you got it, roll it up, baby. It's the best part of waking up. And we talking about Kelvin Joseph, baby, this NFL PCP policy, right? But before we get too far into that, let's get some shout outs, man. Shout out, Julie. I see you. Good morning. How we doing? King Sharon is on the line. Everybody give a round of applause for my man, King Sharon, big time Green Bay supporter. He was out there with Cowboys Life Family 123 and my other supporter out there. You know, the hat plug, the guy getting them hats from. Shout out to Big Val. Shout out to Raymond. Shout out to Cowboy Life Family 123, baby. I seen y'all out there kicking it with Food Network, baby. Big time things in the Dallas Cowboy fan base. I cannot wait to watch that show with our Cowboy cousins in it. So if you're an Emerald Lagasse fan, if you like Emerald Lagasse, if you like the Food Network, you need to be looking for my Cowboy cousins on the Food Network this fall. Courtesy of the biggest boss of them all, baby. And we talk about Boss Man Fat today. Is Boss Man Fat going to dodge the bullet of this PCP from the NFL? Because y'all remember what happened with Ezekiel Elliott, right? Can anybody get on here and tell me what happened with Ezekiel Elliott in 2016 before he entered the league? And, you know, the Ohio police, you know, everybody that let him off, they said, man, Ezekiel Elliott didn't do nothing, man. We ain't got nothing on Zeke. There's no authorities going to press any charges against Zeke. And everybody thought, well, Zeke's going to be good. But then what happened? What happened was, Roger and his goons up there, they don't like the Cowboys, in case y'all forgot. So this is my theory. If Boss Man Fat makes the team and gets to play, Dallas Cowboys going to the Super Bowl. You can share that. I just say it's just little things like this that tells you about the league. Because y'all remember when Ezekiel Elliott got hemmed up, hell, he was running all over the league. But the Roger Goodell had to do something about it. They say, no, Jerry, y'all can't kick ass like this over here every weekend. Y'all can't come up in here and run over everybody like that every weekend. We're going to have to take Zeke out the game. So what they do, they came up with this conduct policy, right? Roger gets to be the judge, jury, and executioner in the league, in case you didn't know. So just because Kelvin Joseph beat these charges, right? He got out of the situation, these folks that he was hanging with, wrong place, wrong time. I know. I've been at the wrong place at the wrong time. I know. I don't sit up here, baby, to try to say, hey, I'm any better than that guy. But what I'm telling you is he got to deal with that PCP. Now that he's done with the local authorities in Dallas, right? They say they're not going to press charges. They got them clowns that he was with and locked them up, right? If you haven't been paying attention, you see Teddy Bridgewater recently came out in the media and said, man, this NFL player is going to have to stop fucking trying to be gangster. Y'all coming in here like y'all some gangsters. Y'all want to shoot up the field. Not on the club. Y'all don't want to go to the club and shoot up the club. Y'all want to go shoot up the field, right? Well, I want to tip my hat to Teddy Bridgewater, baby, for putting that out there. You know what I mean? I do see a lot of NFL young cats getting in the league acting gangster. It's evident. Y'all seen it. But what's really gangster is this PCP. That's the personal conduct policy, right? The personal conduct policy of the NFL, right? It's on NFL communications. I'm going to share this into the group. It says it is a privilege to be a part of the National Football League. It is a privilege. That tells you right out the gate. We'll fire your ass if we want to. Do you realize how much money is in the NFL? Do you realize what kind of black eye this type of media brings to these franchises? Look at Deshaun Watson and look at Cleveland, y'all. I mean, are they going to lock the guy up or is he going to be able to play? I don't know. I'm glad I'm not no damn Cleveland Brown fan. I can tell you that. Let's get some shout outs. See who's rolling with us. What up, Quinn? I see you, baby. Quinn always tapping in here. Good morning, man. Says, I think Kelvin Joseph being healthy should show if he's worth a second round pick. Well, I mean, the report coming out of the Star is the guy's doing everything he needs to do. And I'm happy about that. We all make mistakes. We all can learn from our mistakes. And the biggest thing, just like I tell my kids, it's okay if you make a mistake. Like, it's not okay to go out and kill somebody and just say, okay, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Like, we're not saying that Kelvin Joseph did that, but somebody did unfortunately die in this situation. And I know there's a small group of NFL fans out there that are particularly not going to like it should Kelvin Joseph make the team and actually play. But before we get to that point, man, you've got to understand this personal conduct policy. Kelvin Joseph is not in the clear, y'all. And I've had this question brought up here before. When we get into camp this week, this noise is going to get exponentially louder when it comes around Kelvin Joseph. You see, the Dallas Cowboys and the local authorities are trying to get ahead of this. They don't want the media to get onto it like they will. What up, Cuff? I see you, baby. Cuff is on the line. Gangster, gangster. You know what it is, man? Ain't that the worst, man? Like, all these guys go to college. They do all this shit. They get into the league, and then the first thing they do is go buy a gun and start posting on the ground looking like you fucking gangster. Come on, man. Grow up, dog. You in the NFL. It stands for not for long. But the reports coming out of the Star is Kelvin Joseph might actually make this team, might actually be a starter, might actually be an impactful player on the defensive side of the ball. Y'all know I love some defense, baby. But I'm a little concerned. I had posed this question on the timeline here probably about a week, maybe, 4 or 5 days ago. And I said, do you think Kelvin Joseph is actually going to dodge his legal woes and make the team? Well, he dodged his legal woes from a local authority standpoint, right? But he still has to deal with Roger Goodell and his goons when it comes to this PCP. So I just wanted to get up on here and remind y'all, do you remember what happened to Ezekiel Elliott? Do you remember Ezekiel Elliott was suspended 6 games? There was no police record or anything like that. They didn't press charges. Nothing happened like that. There was nothing. But he still got suspended for 6 games. Yeah, I know we're kicking off camp this week, baby, but we got business to handle here this morning. And, you know, staying out of the danger zone, staying off the rover, all of this stuff that I've been talking about. You know what I mean? We've been doing really great as Dallas Cowboys this all season. Now, this Kelvin Joseph stuff happened back in March, right? And for the most part, the media has been pretty quiet about it. It's been so quiet about it that a few days ago, I had to pose that question. Is Kelvin Joseph going to dodge? Is he going to be able to dodge his legal woes and be able to play for the Dallas Cowboys this season? And if he does, I know there is a small group of fans in NFL fan bases, predominantly the Dallas Cowboys. They're not going to be happy with that shit. They're not happy with it now that he beat them charges. You know, there's some folks saying he should get locked up. You know, my thing has always been like this. You can get the amount of justice you can pay for in this country. Because I know if it had been me or you in that vehicle, baby, we going up to Slammer. We're going down to Beeville, Texas, baby. We're going to the big Slammer. Your P word, baby, prison. You know what I mean? But the fact that this guy is a Dallas Cowboys football player, and the Dallas Cowboys from the day one have basically been behind Kelvin Joseph. There's been nothing but great reports coming out about Kelvin Joseph. And I think the Dallas Cowboys have learned from what happened with Ezekiel Elliott, and they're trying to get ahead of that with Kelvin Joseph. Just yesterday, news broke. Local authorities are not going to be charging Kelvin Joseph with any kind of criminal charges. Let's get some more shout outs. He was rolling with us here today, baby. What up, Kelly? Said Boss Man Fat is probably going to get 4 games. That's Kelly tapping in right there. I mean, he going to get something, y'all. You can't expect for a guy to be in the wrong place at the wrong time, riding around with 2 guys in a car with guns who murder somebody. Even if the NFL PCP doesn't suspend him for any kind of games, like I told y'all, if the NFL don't get Boss Man Fat, the Dallas Cowboys winning the Super Bowl this year. If the NFL leaves Boss Man Fat alone and there's no other drama outside of this going into camp and going into the regular season, I'm just going to say it right now. Dallas Cowboys, we're going to the Super Bowl, baby. Because if you remember in 2017, was it when Ezekiel Elliott, or 18, well, I can't remember how many years ago it was, but when Ezekiel Elliott got suspended, right? Everybody learned about this PCP. They say, how the hell, if Ezekiel Elliott had no charges on the outside, does he get affected on the inside? Well, I know all my military veterans know a little bit of something about that when it comes to what we call the Uniform Code of Military Justice. It's an extra set of laws that servicemen and women have to abide by. And if you don't, there's penalties for that. There are circumstances for that. A lot of times service members will get in trouble in town. They have to deal with the local authorities, and then they're going to have to come back and deal with the Navy or the Army or whatever branch they're in, right? All my veterans out there know exactly what I'm talking about. When it comes to the NFL and its players, same deal. Personal conduct policy. It is the grab all, judge, jury, and executioner documentation for Roger Goodell for them to be able to stand up these investigations. Speaking of investigations, let's just get into their terminology of what an investigation is. It says investigations. Whenever the league office becomes aware of a possible violation of the personal conduct policy, it will undertake an investigation, the timing and scope of which will be based upon the particular circumstances of the matter. You know, a lot of people are not aware of this PCP, and I just wanted to make sure for all my cousins that are waking up right now, I know a lot of y'all have been the fuck asleep. Thank you, Brandon, for throwing those 500 stars. Appreciate getting the star party started here today, baby. There's 2 things you can do, you know, just like my man, the Green Badge, Brandon King Sharon did. Either you can share this video, come on, hit that share button. 2 things you can do, or you can hit that star button, baby. So if you like what we putting down here, baby, go ahead and support the content like my man King sharing. Shout out to Red Out Construction. I seen you out there yesterday, Brandon, kicking it with Big Val and all the Cowboy cousins. You know what I mean? Look like y'all had a good time out there with Food Network. But we're talking about this NFL PCP. So that essentially means that anybody could do anything and be cleared legally outside of the league. And then the league is going to do a funky ass investigation. And then they're going to do what they're going to do. Kind of like what they did with Ezekiel Elliott when it came to a 6-game suspension. Do you remember that? So I wanted to make sure that all my Cowboy cousins out there hollering, you know, Kelvin Joseph's going to make the field. Kelvin Joseph going to be a starter. Kelvin Joseph going to be able to play. Kelvin Joseph beat these legal charges. Pump the brakes, baby. He got to dodge that bullet of the PCP first. So just wanted to remind y'all, you know, it's the best part of waking up, and make sure, you know, you turn on your notification. We're going to be following this Kelvin Joseph situation very closely. We're going to be following a lot of things going on in camp very closely here. Make sure you turn on your notifications, baby. Because in case you didn't know, players are starting to arrive out there at camp today, baby. Rookies report tomorrow. The 27th, they got a practice at 11:30. The 28th, they got another practice at 11. And on the 30th, they've got the incumbent ceremony for training camp. This is the time of the year we have been working out for. For all of my 15 percenters, if you have been awake since the Super Bowl, I commend you. Share this video. If you have not went to sleep on your Dallas Cowboys since the Super Bowl, I need you to share this video right now. Come on, man. Show your folks that you are tapped in here today in the gym, baby. Get in the gym and throw that weight bar up. We're talking about this PCP, this personal conduct policy of the NFL. So just before, you know, we get too excited here and think that Boss Man Fat, you know, the biggest boss of them all when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, right? Is he really going to be able to make the field? Is he going to get suspended? How many games is he going to get suspended? Well, the Cowboys seem to have his back just like they had Ezekiel Elliott's back. And I know some fans actually got a problem with that. You know, the Joneses and them having the back of a guy who was with two guys who murdered somebody. Get ready, y'all. It's fucking coming. If you don't think the media is not about to latch on this in training camp or the rest of this season, we are the Dallas fucking Cowboys. It happens every season, no matter what happens. And you heard it here first, baby. Biggest boss of all, you know what I mean? We talking about this PCP. We talking about training camp getting underway. And, you know, I'm going to share this link here in my supporter group right now. So all my supporters, thank you for supporting the content here. I appreciate y'all believing in me, believing in the content, taking care of your boy, making sure I'll be able to get boots on ground this season like at the home opener. And if you're hanging out here and you just realize that, you know, we're a different page here. We don't just share memes. You know, we don't just, you know, rob other people's video and other people's content, you know, maliciously and try to run it up over here. We don't do that, baby. We are I'm a fan-based creator. So shout out to all my fan-based creators out there. You've seen us talking about this language now. And if you're unaware of what stars are, like my man King Sharon just donated 500 stars here. Stars is the virtual currency on Facebook. And should we reach 3,000 stars today, and this is your first time, the top star giver here today, like my man Brandon at 500, will walk away with this chef apron and hat. So big shout out to my man King Sharon yesterday, hanging out with Cowboys Life family. I seen y'all out there barbecuing with the Food Network. So if you're a big time griller or you like to cook with a chef apron and hat, hit that star button, baby. As we talk about this Kelvin Joseph situation. It says, what happens when a violation of this policy is suspected? Evaluation, counseling, and services. Any player arrested or charged with violent or threatening conduct that would violate this policy will be offered a formal clinical evaluation, the cost of which will be paid by the league. You got to read through this, man, so you can understand the playbook. You know, a lot of players in the NFL only know their team's playbook. Well, for everybody else watching this Kelvin Joseph situation, you may want to get up on the league's playbook. And that's the PCP, because that's essentially the one that says, hey man, look, if you out here and you fucking up our good name, if you out here looking like a damn clown, like a little gangster fucking up our good name, we're going to suspend your punk ass. We're going to suspend you 4, 5, 6 games. We just kick your punk ass out the league. That's basically the extent of it, y'all. That's what this PCP is all about. And if you haven't remembered, or if you forgot recently, maybe you bumped your head while you was going to the bathroom, you was waking up because you seen these notifications. You know what I mean? This PCP is no joke. That's how they got Ezekiel Elliott for 6 games. So we got to wait, man. We're going to have to be patient on this to find out whether or not the NFL PCP is going to take action. Now, like I said, here is my conundrum. I like to watch everything that the league does when it comes to the Cowboys. Everybody looks at it from an X's and O's standpoint. I look at it from a business standpoint. And, when you're an operation and you have franchises, and you got one franchise that does significantly better than all of the other franchises, when we talk in terms of revenue, it's probably in the best interest of the NFL to leave the Dallas Cowboys the fuck alone. That number 1 scoring offense, baby. The most penalized team in the league. A lot of folks can't get around. They say Cowboy fans are nothing but full of fucking excuses. I mean, I could see where folks could, maybe look at it from that angle. But I'll tell you this. Once the Cowboys win a Super Bowl, oh boy. Stand the fuck by. But I think we can do it if we have Kelvin Joseph, because of his contributions in the backfield as a defensive back. I think Boss Man Fat brings some heavy blows, if you know what I mean. So what do you think? Do you think Boss Man Fat gonna actually beat the PCP? Do you think the PCP's gonna get him? I know my girl Kelly said she think he's gonna get 4 games. How many of y'all think he's gonna get? Rob Sainz, top fan checking in here. Appreciate that, Rob Sainz. He says he'll get suspended 6 games. And Watson will get 2. Pretty much the logic of the NFL, if you ask me, right? Like, how long has this Deshaun Watson shit been going on? Probably about as long as it took for Dak Prescott to get paid, right? Oh, I'm telling you, man. And that's my thing. That's my conundrum. If the PCP, if Roger Goodell and the NFL leave the Dallas Cowboys alone, and they leave Boss Man Fat alone, then that essentially tells me Dallas Cowboys about to kick some fucking ass this year. Now, should Roger and his goons actually go after Kelvin and fuck with Jerry Jones again this year, then guess what? That pretty much says it's stat quo. It's business as normal. Roger Goodell has been up there asking or talking to Congress. He had a lot of heat on him lately when it comes to the NFC East, and we're talking about the Washington Commanders. I'm hoping maybe that Roger and his goons got their hands full with all this other shit in the NFC East, and they won't have it full with this Boss Man Fat scenario. I don't know, y'all. It's kind of coincidental here. About 3-4 days ago, we asked the question, is he going to dodge his legal woes? And then news broke from Sports Illustrated yesterday that there's going to be no legal charges pursued against Kelvin Joseph in the matter. That's fine and dandy, man. I'm happy for the guy. I understand you can be at the wrong place at the wrong time. Well, I think that's why they created the NFL PCP. Because they know NFL players can be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And a lot of times, that's going to fuck up the bottom line. Just like Ezekiel Elliott's did, right? When it affected the bottom line of the Dallas Cowboys. Things that make you go, huh? So if you're just tapping in here, baby, do me a favor. Give me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. We are live this morning. It is almost 10 o'clock on the West Coast. The best coast, as folks are falling in out there at training camp. Make sure you scroll back and check out the episode I did with Patrick Milan of SCDCFC. If you're headed out to camp, make sure and get all of your tips. Get all that great info that Patrick Milan shared on the show here with us about training camp. And congratulations to our Green Bay supporter, Shamika Mallory, Dallas Diva. She registered with Visit Oxnard. I shared a link on here, I don't know, maybe a month ago from Visit Oxnard. And there was a competition or a contest where you could win 2 tickets to training camp. All expenses paid. And our girl, Dallas Diva, actually won. So shout out to Visit Oxnard. Thank you for picking my cowboy cousin out there. Turn on your notifications. We're going to have a couple of folks live, boots on ground out here at training camp, y'all. Training camp August 6th, next Saturday. Not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday, August 6th. The flyer has already been saved here. The Unity Barbecue between SCDC FC, Star Status Cowboys Connection, and also the hard hitters. So if you're going to camp, you can go to this event and hook up with my cowboy cousins. I told y'all, this is what we do here as a page. We connect NFL fans at live events. So make sure you check out that flyer and go check out that Unity Barbecue put on by Southern California Dallas Cowboys Fan Club. That's the club that Patrick Milan is a member of. We had here. He was talking to you and telling you about training camp. So make sure you turn on your notifications. I'm excited. We're going to have some boots on ground representation at training camp. But as you seen this news yesterday about Kelvin Joseph, it made me stop and think, damn, great. We posted it here. There it is. He's beat the legal woes. He's beat the legal woes. Now he's got to go and he's got to deal with this NFL PCP conduct. Player conduct personnel, right? Personnel conduct policy. Let me get it right. The personal conduct policy, right? He's got to be able to get past this. So 4 games, 6 games, all games. I don't know how many games. Just turn it on, baby. You've been rolling with BG the Cowboys Unifier, baby. It's the best part of waking up. And I appreciate everybody getting down with me here this morning. Camp is kicking off this week, man. It's time to start buzzing, baby. So get your spray tan, get your gym oil, get your merchandise, baby. Get on your gym clothes, man. We built different, baby. We've been in this gym since the close of the Super Bowl, and now it's time to flex this muscle. We've been tapped in with our Dallas Cowboys, and we're going to stay tapped in, baby. And we'll see y'all on the next episode.